Hello, everyone. Welcome to Our Kind of Homesteading. We're your hosts, Sherry
and Shauna.
And today we've had some questions, and I think it's been like I
really hate this.
I know, without being able to hear.
Yeah.
Our headphones for some reason aren't working. We can't like fucking figure it out. It's insane all the technical shit that goes into this. I guess it probably is obvious, but it's really annoying because we're not technical gals.
Hate, loathe.
And so, like, when something's not working and we're like the only two to figure it out, we're like, well, I guess we just don't use it because
our whole day.
And we can't hear ourselves in like how you guys are hearing us. Like, I obviously can hear myself, but I can't hear myself through the microphone.
Which is good, like whatever nuance. It's just annoying. Okay? It's annoying.
It's not what we're used to.
Yeah.
Hi. Yes. So, hot topic recently has been, where should I move to start a homestead? Or, yeah, basically, where should I move just in general? Obviously, multifactorial.
Yeah, it's super multifactorial. It's kind of like, so question has been asked so many times.
Yeah.
Like, we're just starting our homestead or we're moving our homestead. Where's the best place to move to? A lot of people are like going towards like Kentucky, which Ladies Farm is in Kentucky, and like more.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
People have mentioned like Kansas and Oklahoma, just because like land is a lot cheaper there. So if you are like trying to figure out like where you want to move, I would highly suggest that you take a trip there with your family and spend about a good,
like a week
there during the time that you would be considered the worst time. If you hate when it's fucking cold, like, go during the winter. If you hate when it's fucking hot, go during the summer. Because if like that's gonna be the real test, right? If you're like, this sucks and you hate it for a week, you probably shouldn't move there.
I can't imagine like going someplace being like, oh my god, I hate snow. I'm just realizing it. And I guess like knowing yourself, like, I hate snow, 100% hands down. First one to admit it. I would never live where there was like heavy snow. Like, it just 100% would never happen.
Yeah, like I love the idea of living like, because we're like right below the snow line where we are at currently, and I love the idea of living where the snow line is in the summer. Because it's not as hot up there.
We have our
but then in the
days.
Winter, when people have to like haul water from their house to all of their animals, like in the snow, and sit there and get, feed buckets uncovered from snow, like that sounds bloody awful. And I would
bloody awful,
and I would rather
deal with your triple digit days when you can like.
Well, and it's
because here's the thing, in my perspective, like triple digit days, like I just wake up fucking early, get outside to get all the shit done, and then I go back inside. And if it's crazy hot, I'll go out in the middle of the day to check on the animals and just suck it up and deal with it, right? And we have a pool and stuff, so it's like.
But then you can still go out in the evenings, and it's like
exactly.
It's never
the
like
evenings are still
are so nice. You can like spend like all night outside.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Like,
and we do.
The kids go out, and it's like the moon's up, and it's dark out, and we run around, and we play, and it's nice. And do stuff in the garden. We have like lights and shit.
So I guess it just really like you got to know yourself and
know what kind of diva you are.
Know what kind of diva you are. I know like, okay, I hate snow, or I hate extremely cold. I hate extremely hot. And whatever it is. And obviously,
don't bullshit yourself either. That's never a good idea for anybody involved. Because if you're bullshitting
with
anything ever. So if you're bullshitting yourself and trying to act like, I don't know, like tough and like,
I can do it.
I love triple digit. I can do it. I used to live, military, triple digits, fine. Or like, cold, negative temperatures. They don't bug me. But deep down they really do. Like, just be honest with yourself. You will be happy. Because like, if you're planning on moving there and living there, you're going to live there.
Yeah.
Live there.
Well, so. I guess for some people, I think we have a different perspective because like, okay, our, like we have roots, and once we put down roots, which we did like 25 years ago here, or more now, it's like, it's like those roots are not coming out of the ground. We're not moving. It's never going to happen. But I know a lot of people move around, and it's like a common thing for them, right? They're like, yeah, we move. It's no big deal. Mm-hmm. And maybe we've moved a couple times since our kids were born or whatever the fuck. I don't know. And that's just not my jam. I hate moving just in general. Fucking sucks. But yeah, so I think our perspective is a little skewed.
But beyond like weather, I guess that's still weather. It's like wherever you're going to live, whether it's in the United States or like we were just talking about the United States, I guess, but like because I don't know most parts of the world, like beyond
garden zones, all that good
well,
shit.
like, yeah, garden zones or what the weather's going to be like and stuff like that. But you also have to realize that, especially at least in the U.S., wherever you're at, there is some kind of natural disaster that you have to deal with.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So like where we're at, it's fires, and I know that like freaks a lot of people out, but we like, I guess you just get used to it. But like, it freaks me out to think about like Kansas and fucking tornadoes. You know, being in Tornado Alley, I'd be like, who would want to move there? Like that would be crazy.
Right.
But like, obviously, people that just like how we are fine with knowing that, you know, we have a fire plan and blah blah blah. Like it's fine. So you know, there's hurricanes, tornadoes, flooding, fires, like wherever you're at, like know which natural disasters you have to deal with and make sure that you're okay with it in your head. Again, you can't bullshit yourself. You have to be pretty much like, this is a potential thing that could happen while we live here, and we need to have a plan and how to, you know, we need to make sure
evacuate
we have
promptly,
or if it's a tornado, like have a fucking, you know, shelter, you know. I can only think of like Dorothy and like going into the thing, but you know what I'm saying. What is it?
Better get your hot air balloon ready.
What is it called?
A tornado?
Is it just like a basement?
Oh, it's well, now see, now you made me forget.
Is it a basement? A shelter?
Well, it is like a basement, but it's a
bunker?
Stop. You say words and you keep on saying things, and then they don't make it any better. It's not a basement. A basement's just where you store things. Nope, that'd be a root cellar. It is essentially a root cellar, though, except you use it to shelter and hide.
Right? Anyways, so know what you're going to have to deal with, not just like uncomfortable weather, but like crazy, unpredictable things like natural disasters.
Right. That's a good point.
And then the other thing, which makes a lot of sense too, is like where we are at, like our animals can graze a lot of the year, but in the summer, everything is dry. There's no like grazing. We have to supplement their feed definitely in the summer. Like my big fat goats, like they get fed in the summer, and we cut back in any other time of the year. We don't have to buy as much alfalfa, which is great. So if you are planning on having your animals graze most of the time, then you have to live somewhere where it's green most of the time, which also means it's going to rain most of the time. And then you have to think about your garden and, you know, all the other stuff that goes on.
Well, and exactly, and what rain means for you doing chores and getting everything done that you need to do in your life. So like, I personally would not be okay with consistent rain.
No,
I don't, it's not my cup of tea, and I don't like it.
We're pretty spoiled where we're at. We're pretty spoiled.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean,
and I'm just like,
you know, we're like
perfect weather all the time.
I know
please.
A lot of people like have moved out of California to like go find their homestead dreams, but we're living our dream right here. We're fine. We're very happy. We're living in California, homesteading in California.
Yeah.
And there's different like homestead and homeschooling. If a lot of homesteaders homeschool their kids, homeschooling laws depending on at least what state you go to. I don't know about which country. Definitely. I'm assuming same. But like, you know, how you can collect rainwater and just like all kinds of weird shit. There's even, I don't know if it's still around, but there used to be like, if you're homesteading, you can get like a certain amount of free land to homestead on. I don't know if that's still a thing.
What the fuck is
that? It's not here, like
obviously
in California, but like, I think it was like the Midwest for a minute, like, but this was like, when I say a minute, it was like before we were born. I don't know if it's still a thing. Like in the 60s.
Spend a minute, folks. That's the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably doesn't exist anymore. But
yeah.
No, it's a good point that you just brought up about the legalities and stuff, because like, I think in California, we have a little bit, you know, more rules as far as homesteading. Like you can't sell your milk, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
and the things
that
that you
kinda
want to
shit.
sell, having a cottage
Exactly.
license
So like
and all that
that's
stuff.
another thing to think about. Like why are you getting into homesteading? What are you going to be? Is it just for you and your family, or are you going to be selling things to try to compensate for a part of your feed bill? I don't know. So
Do you want to have a little farm stand on next to your
exactly.
property? Like
And
what
so you
are
have to look into
you have to
each
look
state
into
is so different,
and each assuming
and country, obviously.
like is
So,
going to be different for
yeah.
So it's it does, even when we're talking about it, sounds very overwhelming. If you are like picking up and moving to a
It's not overwhelming. You just look at your fucking state's rules and regulations. I mean, they
Well,
have it.
I mean, beyond that, then like going and taking a trip there and making sure you like it. Like, I think that is probably the biggest piece of advice I can give you. And like, I would even go as far as being like, if you had the time and the money and the energy to go during the different seasons, like the harsher seasons, like
has
summer
money for
and
that?
winter. I would just say like go during the summer for a week and go
I
during
think,
the winter.
honestly,
a
I don't
week.
know if even a trip is necessary. I think if
I
you
think it's
know
highly
that
necessary.
you don't like snow, you shouldn't move anywhere with heavy snow.
No, but like some places don't have snow, but they have like hailstorms with like golf ball size hail that comes down that you have to like dodge and then get your animals out of so they don't fucking die. Like, like I said, like we're super spoiled
And
where we are at.
even like the humidity, like I hate humidity.
Humidity, yeah.
I
people
hate
don't
it,
take in
and they-
consideration
and
the
they
humidity.
don't take into consideration.
Like,
They're
do you
"Oh,
want
no,
frizzy hair
I
for the
know."
rest of your life?
They'll be like, "Oh no, I know it's humid." Do you really
Yeah.
know though? Like, do you understand the
like take
actually
your
how
breath
it
away
feels?
humidity where you try to like walk somewhere and you're trying to breathe at the same time and you feel like you're in like the devil's armpit, like that kind of humidity.
Exactly.
Like-
Exactly. Thank you. Right? It's just like, see, and that would be a no-go for me. That's why 100%, like, I would never live anywhere like Texas, Oklahoma. Who else has humidity?
Literally everywhere
Everywhere,
in the South.
everywhere in the South. Like, I would just never, ever do that because I hate it so much. I just could never do it. I would be miserable. And see, the thing is, I like to be outside all the time. And I'd rather be outside versus in my house. And I would never want that to not be a possibility or for me to hate being outside just because of where I live. Like right now in California, like I can go outside basically all the time. Like, yeah, we have some triple digit days, but I don't know. Like,
Yeah, it's really like, it's not bad.
it's just not bad. Like we said, once the sun sets and early in the morning, like you're fine, golden.
So beyond like weather stuff and looking about, if it's going to be green, if you're going to can graze your animals or if you can't graze your animals and blah, blah, blah. Like what I think a lot of people don't think about is the predators, like what types of poisonous, like snakes, venomous snakes or spiders, that kind of thing. Because you will have to deal with that, especially like on a homestead.
Oh, yeah.
So like,
Oh, yeah. Good point.
So like where we are at, we have to deal with the North American, like the rattlesnake, right? Which fine, easy peasy. And our spider that we have to deal with that is, dangerous or potentially dangerous is our black widow. And beyond that, we're
good. We're sitting
good.
pretty.
Which is crazy because most other areas they have like, a list of several snakes, that will chase you from your yard, or like,
and these two venomous, like, animal, reptile, whatever, insects you want to call them, arachnids. They, the black widow and the rattlesnake, they are so timid, right? Like so timid, and like they don't want you to come anywhere near them. They're not going to chase you down. They're not going to like jump out at you.
A rattlesnake will warn you if you're close to
That's
it.
why
most
it has
of the
a
time.
rattle. And I feel really like, I mean, we've never had. I don't think I've never ever had an animal or a person bitten by a rattlesnake, and we've had many on the property. We just catch and release kind of thing because like it gets to live too. And same thing with black widows. I see black widows all the time.
All the time.
Like never been bitten by one.
Actually,
my kids know. Like, no, you should not stick your hand into that deep dark
anything that has a dark hole, especially in the summer when all the bugs and black widows are like
you just gotta know
everywhere. You just like your kids. You don't stick your hand down dark holes, but like
you have to coexist.
That should be a rule. That should be a rule. Like
that should
anywhere. Anywhere. You shouldn't do it. It's never a good idea. Nothing good is gonna come from that.
Nothing at all.
But Julia was asking me the other day because she was like, so do you guys have like black widows at your house? And I'm like, yeah, Like, of course we do, like,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, oh, hi, like they all have their names. I like walk by them like, how you doing? But she was like, well, how do you like deal with that, like with the kids? I was like, I mean, we don't go up and like hold them or anything.
They're not getting down playing like race cars with my kids or anything. They
like,
just keep to themselves.
Yeah, I was like, they really keep to themselves. Like,
Yeah.
obviously you can walk like under certain places and you'd be like, oh, and you can point out like where you think they're going to be. Any dark little corner of anything, that's where they're hiding in the barn or chicken coop or whatever.
Underneath things, like I found them a couple times, like underneath like older tables that we haven't used in like the whole whatever winter or whatever, right? And they'll be under there.
So you just have to like
as long as you know like how to coexist with those like those animals, right? It's like there's no reason that you can't coexist. You just have to be smart about it.
But again, that we don't have like we don't
like have that's it though.
Yeah. And
just a
they're
spider
very
and snake.
like our rattlesnake really doesn't want to like I know like the copperhead is more like I will jump and attack you for like just
aggressive, yeah.
It's just way more aggressive. So our rattlesnake, what is the name of our rattlesnake? Why can't I think of it?
A diamond head?
Yes, Diamondback?
Yeah, Diamondback. We got it, folks.
We figured it out.
Together as a unit, figured it out.
It's super like it will run away from you. It will rattle. It's very, very timid. So again, we're kind of like, it's why we like where we're at.
Yeah, well, that's just one of the reasons. Yeah, I don't mind their predators. Like I said, we've
yeah, and then our predator load.
Yeah, exactly. And like,
which is kind of I think other people get surprised by it when you talk about
yeah, I guess it is high, like because we have the mountain lions, we have bear, we have
coyotes.
The
only thing we don't have here is wolves.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing we don't have is wolves. That's like literally the only thing. We have the eagles, the hawks, and all the smaller predators, the bobcats, the raccoons, all those things. But like we've talked about before, I mean, I manage with just the livestock guardian dogs, and they are very, very good at their job. And they keep everything away, including all those huge predators that would be coming around. And we have seen them on occasion, but they don't dare cross the fence because the dogs are standing there like saliva dripping through their mouths, barking at them like, I'm going to eat you.
The dogs do a good job there. Yeah. The LGDs specifically do a good job. Yeah,
exactly. So that's another good thing to know, though, before you move somewhere. Like, okay, what is the predator load? What does that look like? What am I going to have to deal with? And then go from there as far as how you're going to like overcome that. Killing them is not what you should be thinking.
And I think a lot of people, when they get onto these homesteading sites, the first thing people say, oh, there's this, bobcat that keeps coming around my chicken coop. What should I do? And it's like they always say, because it's like illegal just to shoot a mountain lion here specifically, because mountain lions are protected. And so they say like SSS, it's like shoot, shovel, and something. I forgot what it means. Anyways, it's dumb. So because people just want.
I've never even heard of that.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying. It pisses me off every day. So like I understand that a lot of people, especially homesteaders, right? And you want to protect your livestock. And I'm not telling you that you should not protect your livestock. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be like concerned if a predator is coming around. Like you shouldn't ignore it, obviously. But your first thing shouldn't be grab the gun and shoot the fucker. It should you should have, if you're doing everything, like you have livestock guardian dogs, you have a fence up, you have hot wire, whatever the fuck else, that you're trying to do, making sure your animals are in at night in an enclosed area, if it's like chickens or what the fuck ever, like you are doing all those things, then, okay, and it's still like super aggressive and coming around, and you're like, most people are like, well, I have kids that I have to worry about. It's like,
I'm sorry. If you have livestock guardian dogs, though, and if you have enough
have a problem
for your property, like we have 2 on 10 acres, you definitely should not have a problem. Like
I get so like heated, like I'm like trying to like come back down.
Because like I said, we have mountain lions, a lot of mountain lions. We have bear, and those are 2 huge predators. And our boys, the LGDs, they keep them all away. Like I have seen, the last time we saw one was 2 years ago in October. And my 11-year-old at the time was 9, and she was taking down Halloween decorations, and there was a big mountain lion on the fucking like road, and she starts calling for me, and then the dogs get like the whiff of it, and they run out there, and
but it was like not on their property, like on the road.
It was like on the road.
They're going to be there.
You have to learn how just to coexist with them. Like, and here's the thing: when you shoot one, another one's just gonna take its place. There's just no point to that. It's just like this vicious, awful cycle. And then the thing is, you shoot it, and what do you? I mean, how do you know it didn't have babies? Now those babies get to fucking starve to death. Like, the whole thing is just ridiculous. So
it's very
just
weird.
coexist, but it is a good thing to know before you move someplace. Okay, so what's the predator load of this place? What am I going to deal with? If there are any poisonous animals, what are those, kind of thing? 2 very good tips for sure.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people, they'll get somewhere and then they're like,
I had no idea we had brown recluse spiders here.
yes.
Stuff like that. And again, not to say you shouldn't move someplace where there was brown recluse spiders,
but you should know what they are, know what they look
exactly.
like, and
just, do some research and stuff.
Yeah, do some research, especially if you have children, especially so you can tell the kids this is what this looks like.
Yeah, stay away from the spider. I mean, they're called the brown recluse because they are reclusive in nature, so you most likely aren't going to see them.
Yes,
just like the black widow, like they
but
just hide.
I used to have a picture of like a black widow when my kids were little, a black widow spider like on our fridge, just because my kids are always running around and always playing.
No, it's a great idea.
And so they knew what it looked like, and I mean, for the most part, spiders, they would be like, okay, stay away from spiders, but then it was just like, oh, that's a black widow, like keep my distance kind of thing. So, and then obviously they knew about the rattlesnake. So I just think that it's obviously, if you educate yourself, you can educate your children about it. And then they can know if something does happen, they do get a bite, they can come right away and be like, this is what happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely look up both those things before you move wherever. And if you're like terrified of snakes, where you have like a phobia and you're moving to a place that has a shit ton of snakes and you didn't realize that before you moved there, it's just gonna suck. So like,
well, venomous snake, I suppose, like all your,
some people are just terrified of snakes in general.
You definitely shouldn't be homesteading. I'm sorry,
how
that's
many
just,
people are terrified of snakes and spiders that are homesteading. It's like unreal.
Well, it's weird to me because like I see so many snakes all the time. And like, yeah, our chickens and our guinea hens do keep most of them away, unfortunately. But in my garden and stuff, I mean, I have quite a few snakes, and
they're all good snakes. Yeah,
they're all good. They're all very harmless to me, harmless to my kids and stuff, harmless to all the animals. They're just there doing me a favor,
adorable,
keeping down the rodent population. So I can't imagine being terrified, like actually having like a phobia. Like, okay, I have a phobia of heights, and so like I just stay away from high places. I'm not gonna like put myself in a situation where like
you're not building any really tall chicken
on
coops.
A daily basis, especially. That's my point.
Yeah.
Right. That's my point. Like that's a weird thing to.
But a lot of people,
yeah, that's
like
strange.
It's very like people will post like a picture of a snake in a garden on like one of the homesteading thingies, and people are like, "Did you burn your garden down?" What? Like, yes.
And they're trying to eat
for
mice.
A snake like that, and it's like a gopher snake or something.
Right.
Shit.
You're just
like, what do you?
That's a good one. That's a good one. Leave them alone.
It's okay. It's gonna be fine. So yes, know what you have to deal with.
Yeah, wherever you're planning on moving, and
I have fuzz on my face.
And obviously, like, I know we very rarely talk about politics because I hate them, but you probably might want to know if that's something that's important to you.
Yeah,
I guess you
absolutely.
would want to know what that state looks like, politics from a politics perspective.
That's why a lot of people moved out of California, is because of politics.
More space for us.
And we're like, bye, Felicia. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that like
fuck?
all the time.
Why
like,
is there so much
I'm
hair on
moving
this?
out of California because of the politics. But here's the funny thing is like, I mean, the politics are going to be anywhere and everywhere, and both sides are going to be everywhere. So like, or all sides, all the sides. And so it's like, what? I don't know why would you move out of someplace just to go someplace where there's also going to be that viewpoint.
Yeah.
It's just funny to me. I don't know. I guess because I'm not a huge like politic, like I just don't really care. I'm like, I'm gonna live my life. My kids are living their life. Everyone's happy, healthy, we're good.
Yeah.
Politics, they can do what they want.
Yeah.
But like it just doesn't bother me, I guess.
Will regardless of.
They will regardless, and it just doesn't bother me, and so I'm just like, I'm good.
Yeah, totally.
I don't care what the view is here in California.
So yeah. I was thinking of something else that they should do too if you're looking to move beyond weather and predators and politics. What was the other one?
You're talking very quietly.
Am I?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think so.
And obviously, like liking the area that you move to. I think it's really hard to say you're going to move to a specific area and not know it. Like if you haven't never been there, and like, there might be like a bunch of meth labs down the street, You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you look it up on Google Earth,
right? And
and
just
are like,
because, yeah,
you
Google
know,
Earth, or just because you see pretty photos of it,
yeah,
and then you get
it
there, you're
doesn't
like,
mean it's actually,
Yeah, and
or
I-
like literally around the corner. You know, there's just
Yeah,
like, oh,
I
you know,
mean-
there's a large homeless encampment down the street. Not
Right,
that like
right,
people
right.
can't be homeless or whatever, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to, like, don't just take people's word, our word for it, being like, oh, this state's amazing, I love it so much, it's perfect for homesteading. Like, you really need to know it beyond taking, unless it's like a really good friend, like somebody's off the internet's word for it. Does that make sense?
and they're there or something,
Yeah,
and
like,
you're moving there to be with them.
yeah, exactly.
You know, I was also going to bring up that, and I know, again, this maybe it's just our perspective, but in my opinion, connections in life are very, very important. And whether that's family or whether that's family, friends that are family. And so you may want to consider, if you're like, we are moving to find a homestead place, move where like either you have family already
or can be close to it at least.
you can be close to at least where it's not like you're not separated by a whole entire fucking country. You know, like personally, I would never move away from my sister. I'm never moving away from my parents.
Never ever.
I'm never moving away from my other sister. It just like it's never gonna happen. And so, like again, maybe it's just us. I don't know.
And
but
if you okay, so
I think
I'm
connections
gonna
are very
give some
important.
people great advice right now. If
Great
you
advice. Because we say so.
are not yet in the process of having children, but you know that you want children in the future, but you also want to homestead and you're planning on moving away from family to, I 100% like you will want to be around family once you have kids. So if you're leaving and you're like, no,
Yep.
it's not a big
Tidbit of
deal.
wisdom.
Like
Yep.
I promise you,
Yep.
you can say like, oh no, it'll be fine. Or they can just get on a plane. You will want your mother. You will want to be close to them. You'll want your kids to be close to them. Like
Yeah.
100% promise
Yeah.
you, to your siblings or to their cousins, like you will want to be close. You won't want to move away. So just think about that. If you haven't had kids yet and you don't think it's a big deal, it absolutely will be. I live 25 minutes from my sister and I was like, why did I move so far away? Okay.
Yeah, that's our I guess our gauge you have. We live 25 minutes apart and it's still too far.
Killing me. I'm like, God, like I really want to like live where.
I mean, we see each other like
every
on
day,
the daily,
but
just
still,
because, like, our kids are
how
on the
nice
same
would it be
activities.
to like get
No,
on?
Stop.
Like
Stop
she
it.
wants
That's
in my lap,
rude. I know,
to
but
get
she's
on
hurting your leg.
freaking
Little
quad,
quad and be like,
and just be like,
yeah.
go next door. That'd be
I
way. Or
know.
the kids being like,
I
I'm gonna go
know.
to like. What? Why didn't I think of that? Why? You know why?
Because you didn't have children.
Because I
yet, and
didn't
you
have
were
kids, and
being
you didn't
a
tell me.
weirdo.
I blame you.
I tried to tell you.
I think you did actually.
Yeah. I think I did try to.
I think you did. And
Because
I was
I've
like,
had
it's only
kids.
25 minutes.
I've had kids forever.
Yeah, and I was just like, no, it's not a big deal. It's only 25 minutes. So you were just like, is it? Yeah, she was
You'll
right.
be singing a different tune when your baby's screaming in the back seat, driving that 25 minutes.
Well, not just
know what I
that.
mean?
It's not just that, but it's just like, obviously we still see each other, but it'd be so cool to be even closer and have that, like, the kids being go to grandma's for dinner. And,
Right, exactly.
like,
exactly.
obviously we still go to grandma's for dinner, but not like Sherry's up there like every night with my parents, like having dinner. Like they can just have like those connections and those bonds like way more. And it's just such a cool experience. And I think really like that would be great for everybody to get back to, is having that like
100%.
community, that
100%.
family to where they can rely. Obviously, I still like rely on them and they can rely on me and stuff like that, even living 25 minutes away from each other. But like they even more so, like, they have a garden. If Sherry's going out of town, somebody else can water the garden for her. If somebody's making something, they make something for everybody on the property. It's just like, it's like a little community. It's magical. It's magical.
Yeah. Well, and like we have another fucking fair to go to with our kids and their vaulting, which they're very excited about, but just it came very quickly after the first one. And so like I'm going to make like zucchini muffins for us to take to the fair, but I'm also going to leave like a whole shit ton of zucchini
Sorry,
muffins.
our children, get out. I know we are currently using it, however.
We're almost done. We're almost done.
Goodbye.
I love you.
We love you so much.
She's
We're
trying
all
to steal-
community and love. Get the fuck out.
I just want to finish the podcast.
She just wants the charger. She doesn't really want our attention.
Need the
It's
charger.
fine.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, I'm gonna take this. We're like, no, don't unplug that.
She's
Don't
like,
unplug that.
The thing you're currently using right now, I'm gonna take
And
it.
she's like, I'm gonna.
I'm
We're like, don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Oh God.
Yeah, but it is. I've said before, like that's definitely how kids should be raised, though.
It's a beautiful thing. So
Yeah.
I think if you're going to move anywhere,
Yeah,
it should
move
be closer to your
closer
family. Even if
That
it's
is our
not like
bit of wisdom for you.
even if it's not like your perfect image of what your homestead could be or whatever, like I think it's worth it way more to be close to your family and to give up, to sacrifice a little bit of whatever it is in your head.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like, most of the time when people are looking to homestead, they have like a romanticized?
Yeah. Romanticized version of like what it's going to look like, but it's never going to really be like that, and like shit's going to happen, and it's going to feel like it's falling apart at your feet.
And then you're going to be alone without
and then you're
going
going
to
be alone.
Not like obviously you could still have
with
like your
things
spouse
falling
or
apart at your
something,
feet.
but
whereas what if you just had your parents right down the street, or your sister or brother, multiple of those things, down the street, or then it's going to be a lot easier to bear all those burdens. And so anyways, tidbit of wisdom.
And
and
I think
you're
it's
welcome.
a great tidbit of wisdom.
Yeah, I think it's
and
great
you
too.
guys should listen to us. And I know right now some of you are like, no, I'm not even that close with my parents. Shut the fuck up and be close to your parents, okay?
And get closer, okay?
Yeah.
We demand it.
But yeah, I think that's it. I think we said all of our things
Yeah, all the
about
things.
where you should,
Yeah.
if you are, I don't even know what to call this episode. It's like where you should move, or where you think you should move. Where
Where
I
you
don't know.
think you should move, and
and
you're
you're
still
probably wrong.
That's right, and you're probably wrong.
But yeah, so obviously there's a lot of factors that go into it beyond
Yeah.
just being all like, oh, it's cheap in this state or country to live there. Like you can live there for
Because you have to remember, like, not to get back on a tangent, but you have to remember your quality of life, okay? Like, okay, great, it's cheap, but like, is that gonna make up for all the other fucking shit you have to deal with? Because the reason it's cheap, if it is cheap, is because no one wants to live there.
facts. Facts.
And also the jobs that are there do not pay nearly as much as anywhere else, probably, if
Facts.
it's that cheap, okay?
Yeah.
So like,
Unless you're like working remotely.
unless you're working remotely and you're still getting paid the same, I don't even know what the fuck, or
And
you
even
can
then,
travel
if
back
it like
and
really
forth.
is like a shitty spot to live. Oh, you know what the other thing I was thinking of? Fucking alligators. I don't know.
That's super random.
Yeah,
As a
don't-
predator?
Yeah.
I don't think they would be a predator per se.
Okay. Like think about this.
I mean, I guess
Think
if you
about
had
this.
water.
You have like a homestead and you have like your little duck pond, and then you have to deal with things like eating your ducks, and it's like a fucking alligator, and then like your little dog goes down there, your kids are down. It's not like a regular predator where you're like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just. I know some people live with like crocodiles and alligators, but that's fucking scary.
That is scary because I don't feel like a dog would be able to keep an alligator away, right? Because the dog, what's the dog going to do? Like bark at the entrance to the pond? It's
Probably
like the
get
dog
eaten.
and probably get eaten, right? It's like
It's just crazy
the
to
alligator
me.
has the advantage because of the water.
Yeah,
The dog
and depending
can't
on
do
how
anything in
big
the water,
it is,
right?
like I just
No,
think about
that
our
is-
like lake, like that's right that we go to all
Yeah.
the time and stuff like that.
And it would
and then
definitely be filled with alligators if you live
filled
in
with
the south.
alligators. No way you could
Yeah.
like, and then like, how do you like if your kids like go fishing, like they just can't go fishing ever? Or
I don't know. I see the crazy videos all the time with kids just fishing, and the alligator comes, and I'm like, get out of here, you know?
I
And
know.
then
I guess
Lorenzo
it's
just
like-
showed me this guy, this alligator is like coming towards his dog, and he takes this huge cast iron skillet and is like smacking this thing on his nose. He's like, you get. It's like wacky.
fuck?
And the alligator's like, totally.
He's like,
and
fine.
it worked.
It
he,
get?
he did
It
get.
got?
It got. Because he did not want to be hitting the snout with that cast iron skillet
That's
again.
fucking crazy.
But I guess it's
so.
like-
Like, if you are gonna go fishing, you bring a cast iron skillet.
And a video camera or your phone to record it. So for all of us to
Eh.
be like, wow, that's insane.
I see, and that's like, I guess it's just.
But
like,
again, it's our perspective, right? Like we don't deal with
perspective.
alligators. We don't know
And it
about
just-
them.
it just
and it's
is-
scary, right? You're
it
just
is
like,
very scary, and even like all the other things that we don't have to deal with, like the you hear all these freaking stories about different like snake bites, and especially like Australia. I know we've
I
talked
was
about
gonna
that
say,
before, but like fucking Australia.
I know it's a different country, but like
you guys are amazing.
you
first
guys
of
are
all,
amazing.
Very
Whoever
tough.
is there listening, because
They literally have everything there that
Terrifying.
wants to like eat you and kill
they
you.
have that snake that will like legit like chase you down, and it's venomous. It's poisonous.
Isn't it like the most poisonous
Black
snake? Doesn't
mamba
it live
or
in
something? Yeah,
Australia?
I
Like,
believe it is one of the world's most poisonous snakes.
I just like how do you deal with
And this thing
stuff
is
all
so
the time?
aggressive. It'll like chase you. Like, how are you chasing? You don't have legs. It's so weird. Like, it goes so fast. Like you're just like,
God damn.
it is.
Like-
I don't know. That's insane to me. But again, I don't have to deal with that. And I guess people there are just like, You get. I got my skillet.
They just have their cast iron skillet everywhere. It's like I would be like high pitched screaming like a little child.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, thank you.
Like, no. I don't mind snakes. Like, I do not mind snakes, even our rattlesnake.
No. Yeah,
I'm
no,
not
I do
scared
not.
of snakes. I'm
But
not scared
see,
of spiders.
again,
but we don't have anything
I don't have
that's
aggressive.
like trying to like wants to like hurt me. You know, like I have a good relationship with everything here. Like, you know, crocodiles, alligators. I don't know. It just like hits different.
Yeah, I could not deal with those aggressive snakes. I honestly, I could not deal with the crocodiles and alligators. I could not.
I couldn't either.
I already
like,
worry
my kids,
about like water with like drownings, right?
Thank you.
I mean, I watch my kids like a hawk when they're like in the water and stuff, but like it's crazy to me, like even having to worry about anything.
I know.
Like Lorenzo, I'm gonna go fishing, Mommy. Like, no, you're fucking not. Like, you're not getting anywhere near that murky
pool,
water.
I put some fish, Swedish fish in there.
I'll fill it with feeder fish. I'm sure they'll survive the chlorine for at least a couple hours. Go ahead, fish them.
Fish them. Yeah, no fucking way. So, yeah, I guess it's just perspective, like you said, but all that shit sounds terrifying. I don't know, like, how some people, like...
No, and there's even, like, I see so many videos of alligators in, like, fucking pools. You know what I mean? You go back, you're like, Ma, there's the alligator in the pool.
Again.
Shit. It's like, what?
Did you see that one, like, swim team in Australia to get their kids to swim faster? On the swim team, they would put that little, I think it was a crocodile. The crocodiles are like, anyways, nuance. But they put the little crocodile, like, it was a young one, in the water after the kids went to, like, chase the kids down the pool.
What?
Yeah. It was a thing. It was real.
That was allowed?
Apparently. The parents are like, yeah, it makes their times faster. No shit.
It also is traumatizing them.
Like
mental trauma.
I know. My kids are like, you know, have like even
my kids are already scared of the deep end of the pool sometimes.
Like,
at night especially.
Into like river is like Ronan will jump in our lake, but like it's deep. It's deep and there's like the lake weed that kind of like wraps around your feet and it's like, you know, ugh, and you can't see the bottom of it. Anything I can't see the bottom of, I'm always like, I don't know what's in there. Don't care. Not getting in. But like, and River's the same way. She's just like me. So like her brother will jump in and he'll swim and like, you know, kayak and everything else. And she'll kayak, but like she'll like stick her feet in and then she'll like freak the fuck out because like, you know, the lake weed like grabs onto her toes. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like kids already have phobias of things chasing them in the water, and then
or
like,
or getting them. Oh my gosh.
Oh god, yeah. It was like.
I mean, when the kids night swim in the pool, it's like they won't like. Corelli and Legend have a hard time going to the deep end of the pool.
I get that. Though.
Our pool.
Yeah, I get it.
And it's like, I can imagine, I mean, they would have everlasting trauma if someone was like chasing the baby alligator.
It's just a little guy. He could maybe nibble on their toes.
But that would still hurt.
Yeah, he wouldn't though. Like baby alligators are, you know, they're not dumb. They're going to be like, oh, that thing's bigger than me. I can't like, you know, if I bite it, it probably will kill me.
No, I don't think it's funny.
I'm like,
and whoever was doing that, I would probably drown them. And be like,
yeah. You would.
That is insane. It's not funny.
I don't think it was meant to be funny. I think they're really trying to make them faster swimmers.
Which is psychotic. Which is even more psychotic than even being funny.
Yeah.
At least being funny, you're like, yeah, you're just an asshole. We're drowning you. But like,
you're psychotic.
With like, they're like, you must be faster. We're putting an alligator here to chase you. You're like,
well, it's like a kid swim team. Like where
none of these kids are going to the Olympics. Yeah. Calm your tits. Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
I think it'll be fine.
I fucking hate that though. I hate that.
Hyphy tits. Yeah, it's never good.
Yes, basically that. I hate people who are just so fucking weird with kid shit, and they're like, so all about it, and my kid's gonna be the best. Your kid's not going to the Olympics.
He's not going to be the best.
Never happening.
Tell
He's
yourself.
Never being the best. Don't get me wrong. Tell your kids they're the best.
Yeah, I tell my kids all the time they're the best.
Me too.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to be like, you should have an eating disorder because I want you to be the best ballerina or whatever the fuck, you know?
Thank you. Or like, I'm going to give you this emotional, mental trauma because I'm going to have this alligator chase you in the pool. Like,
I think I
what? You probably did. Like, that is unreal to me. That is unreal.
Yeah, it is.
Hyphy tits. See, that's what gets me heated. Like, oh my god,
that's hilarious. Anywho, is that it?
Yeah, I think that's it. We got off tangent alligators chasing kids, hyphy tits. We're good. We always seem to do that at the end
to cool your tits.
That's right.
They're hyphy,
especially if you have children and you want them to be the best. Fucking relax, okay? Only a few are making it to that point, and it's not going to be yours.
And like, do you want it to be?
And
though?
do you even want it to be?
You want
That's
it
my
to be
point.
like for real?
These kids that
like
make
all
it that
these,
far,
like they're like stressed out all the
oh
time.
my God, and they have like all these.
They have all these
crazy
issues.
problems.
They're probably seeing a therapist like once a
They
week.
most definitely are seeing
like,
therapists.
why not just let them, fucking chill? Like,
That's
let them
right.
lead their life, be happy, content.
Yeah, do their things.
Yeah.
And then applaud them, and cheer them on.
This is why, like, we're like how we are though, like homesteaders. Like, we just like we want to, live off the land the little bit that we can, and just like chill and be happy and drink tea on our porch.
Yeah,
it's like we're not like. Our kids will never be like the president of the United States or anything.
No one wants that job.
No, I'm just saying, like.
Do you see presidents after they've been in the office, even if it's a 4-year term?
Yeah.
Do you see how much they age? It's like really sad, and you're like, wow, that looks really, really stressful. No, I know Dad's always saying shit about like, oh yeah, she could be president. I'm like, no, none of my kids are being president of the United States. It's never happening.
Even if you want to.
No.
Forbid
okay?
it. Forbid it. No,
Stupid.
I always tell my kids, like, I don't care what you do. Like, you don't have to go to fucking college if you don't want to. You don't have to.
Who wants to go to college? Sounds
well,
awful.
I mean, some people like are like really want to be a doctor, and then obviously you need college for that.
Very
like,
specific.
Yeah, very specific things. But like if you're happy, like I don't even know, like flipping fucking hamburgers, like for a little hamburger shack, then you should do that.
Yeah, 100%.
You should also know that you're gonna be poor as fuck, but you do you, boo. Like I don't care.
I mean, but some people genuinely don't
really,
mind
it.
They don't mind,
and like
and they don't need.
They
like,
don't need
any
exactly.
amount of money, right? They're just like, no,
which
I'm
is
good.
Amazing.
It is amazing. I wish I could be that person. Kind of.
Yeah.
Slightly.
Yeah.
Slightly more than I am.
Totally.
Yeah.
Agree.
I can't though.
100% agree. I think I could more than I do.
If I didn't have kids, maybe.
Yeah.
Then that's what it is for me. That's what it is.
I think there's like more things like I could do, but like even like if you guys knew how much money I lived off of, you probably would be like shocked, for like whatever, because like I stretch our money quite a bit in order just to live and all. But eat, yeah, for where we're at, especially like it's just the cost of living is super fucking high. So like but I still think I could even do like add more skills that would make it even like easier.
Yeah, even to where you're spending even less money than you already are.
Yeah.
I could probably do way more than I do. I just don't want to, so I don't.
Well, it's just time, and it's hard, and it's like putting the energy into something that's not your children, and then you like feel guilty about it because like that's where I really want to put all my time and energy.
Yes, exactly.
And so then when you're not doing that, you're just like, oh, and even like how often can you be like, come on, kids, we're like I added another skill set to my list. Is we are making our own pasta now, like, which is super fun. I have a little pasta, so the kids like to like turn it and make the noodles, which is like super fun. But like, how long is that going to be fun for them?
Not very long.
Not very long.
No, not very long.
I probably have another couple times, and they're going to be like, "No, Mom, I don't want to make pasta with you." I'm like, "Please."
They'll be like, "Buy the 99-cent bag of pasta and shut the fuck up." Yeah.
Anywho. Thank you guys all for listening today.
Yeah.
We gave you some good info on if you are thinking about moving or starting a homestead. Other than that,
and we're gonna have our we've already recorded one episode.
We did one
for Porch Talks. That's gonna be our Patreon specific podcast, and we're gonna have all the details coming very shortly. We just want to have several episodes recorded and up in there before we go ahead and release all those details, but you can definitely look forward to that because it's going to be it was already super fun, and it just basically like this, except it's just all fun. There's no making sure we give you info and like there's none of that. It's just
it's just a bunch of laughs. So.
It's just a bunch of laughs. So it's great, and it was a good time. And if you have any questions about anything, reach out to us.
We've had a lot of people reach out to us lately, which is awesome, and we appreciate all of you guys. Like we got a lot of questions.
So many questions through Instagram and Facebook.
So thank you
and email. And so we really appreciate that. And you guys always feel free to reach out to us. It might, depending on our life at that moment, take us a minute to get back to you.
True.
Like we're going to be in another fair from Wednesday through Sunday this week. So
don't want to go.
Well, we don't want to.
I don't want to go. But yes, we will get
back to you.
Yeah.
As soon as we can, though. And yes, but thank you for listening.
And we will talk to you all next time.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Bye.